Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller Podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode number 296. With me, George, and this week joined by RGT, Knight Rider, to my thunder in paradise. How's it going, RGT?
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely brilliant. I'm in a really good mood today. How are you, George?
Oh, tell you what, I can turn it off, I can turn it on. I can be anything to anybody, and at the same time, I can be actually like piss and vinegar. But, you know, the interesting thing is, I love this show. And it brings me, I don't know, for the very short time that I record it, I don't know whether I'm faking it or I'm feeling it, but either which way, you fake it till you make it. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to tackle the gaming behemoths, rip their heads clean off their shoulders, pull out their visceral gaming innards, and just show them what they're doing to gaming.
Wow. I never realised you were this pumped.
This is the sort of, you know, you're thinking, oh, I don't feel like there's someone that's got gamers' backs anymore. I don't feel, oh, you just didn't ask. I'm here for you. I'm support you in every single way. You want a Fortnite skin of some obscure TV character that no one ever cares about? I'll make that my pilgrimage. I will walk to Epic and I will rip arms and legs clean out until you get what you want. You know, you want some fan fiction that you've terribly invested in, turned it into some DLC for a 20-year-old game that most people think is dead. I'll wrestle that demon to the ground, and it'll be available for $39.99 in every video game boutique outlet that you could possibly imagine. RGT, I feel fired up and ready to fight mano a mano for our fans. How are you feeling?
Wow, I was feeling a little bit tired and worn out today, but you've now dragged me on, and now I'm fighting fit and raring to go.
No, mate, I'm ready to bang the table like someone born in Austria. I'm ready to go fight with every single corner of every man that there is. I'm ready to dress up sort of rhetoric about this and then basically get the listeners so fired up that they commit gaming genocide. I don't know what that looks. I don't know how that manifests itself.
No, that's
probably tombstone pile driving your younger siblings' console through the family table in a scene a little bit reminiscent of Kes, I'll be honest. Family members screaming, can't quite realise the sort of debauchery that they're seeing. You know, you've just slammed little Johnny's PS5 Pro, he's a spoiled brat, through the roast chicken. Yeah, it's broken fan ports sort of twitching inside the chicken's burning carcass. It's not a pretty scene, RGT.
Wow.
What
yeah, I'm not
playing?
It took me back a bit. Wow.
To what?
The Spectrum going for the turkey at Christmas.
Wow. Your sister leveled up, didn't she, there?
Yeah. She couldn't get on with that Transformers level. Bang, through the turkey. Eat it. Specky. I've only been playing one game, and I know you're going to know what that is, and you're probably going to go, I'm going to hear you go,
Stardew Valley.
Oh, no.
What noise do I need to make?
As soon as I say the name of the game.
Sounded like Zangief, that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
A relaxed geef, I think.
I think that's a 25-year marriage geef.
20.
Three.
Hades 2 has had all my time this week, which has been very little, but what I have done is been putting some more time into it. And I got to a stage where you go through the first level because you're a female in this, you're the sister, and you're in your hub world. You've got sort of the witch who's brought you up and trained you to go back.
Does that change things gaming wise? You coming back as a sister?
Anyway, and that doesn't change things.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's just a different story. And then she's been training you up. But anyway, at the end of the first level, you have to face her. all right, to see if you're ready to then move on next levels. And I come close a couple of times, but I done run after run. I just couldn't beat her. And then done a couple more upgrades, a couple more potions I made, and then beat her. And then now I'm beating her every time. And I'm now on to that second level now. I'm getting to there every time. And it's so addictive. I sent you a picture last night. So I was away last night. So I was playing handheld mode. And I thought, I don't know how the Joy-Cons will be for Hades because you need something a bit.
So you went to a family christening where you were the godfather and you basically sat in the corner and played your snares.
See, you've just made that up again, haven't you? No, I haven't been to no family christening. No, just family meal. So I couldn't be bothered to speak to him, and I wanted to play Hades. So just get me the burger and chips. I'm playing this.
Kids in the corner from Land's End to John O'Groats with massive headphones on, just staring at the floor, eating the chips, a little bit confused by the social environment they find themselves in. And then there's RGT.
Just telling the family to be quiet because the Switch 2 speakers aren't the best.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to listen to this bit of speech here. Can you all just be quiet for a moment, please? Thank you. But yeah. So I don't know how much or how many hours I've put in. No, I don't think it's that many, but I've done quite a lot of runs.
Yeah, do that.
Of course, I didn't do that. This was later in the evening when I was on my own. I played it. I didn't do it in front of the family. Can you imagine that?
Well, the listeners to this show know you are one of the most audacious gamers that there is. So I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't think it's much character development to imagine you sat. Oh, and mate, what people don't realise about you is you are the loveliest, nicest man I've ever met, but you are the biggest slab of beef. One of the biggest slabs of beef I've ever met. You know, you're a proper bloke. There isn't an inch of you that is wasted skin.
I've never been called a slab of beef.
Oh, mate, honestly. And I don't know quite what I would do in a family restaurant if I turned around and there's this damn near 7 foot, absolute rip to the snorter behemoth with some Mario, oversized Mario headphones on, looking like Hagrid at the bloody school dinner.
Fucking Hagrid's a bit harsh, but
surrounded by normal sized people looking at you in the Switch 2.
Oh, dear.
Probably some lager dudes probably wanted to say something, and he's like, well, if that slab of meat picks up, that Switch 2 literally knocked my blood clean off. I'll let him do what the hell he likes.
Anyway, Hades 2.
I love it, mate. Honestly, I wish you had been in a restaurant. Okay, tell me about the game, because do you know what? In all seriousness, and I said don't bore me with it, but sequel to one of the biggest games of the last 5 years, easily. What are you liking about it? What's the thing that's jumped out and said, hey, RGT, you thought you were a fan of Hades 1, slip, slap, slot, actually? Because I got an image earlier in the week, and this is why I kind of knew that this might be a bit of a long chat, but you sent me an image of your farm in Hades 2, and I was a bit like, oh.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, dear.
That's not really sort of farming, but there was just this element where I'd seen these little furrows in the field bit where in your hub world, and I just thought, oh, what's that? And then that said, oh, you can plant this, and I was just like, you what? There's farming elements in this. Then there is and there isn't. You literally just put a seed in, and the next time you do it, let's grow.
Right. Okay, so it's like
it's very
gardening, yeah.
Yeah, it's very lightly based. But the thing I like about it is Hades was superb. You know, it was a game that was very well made. You know, when I got it on PS5, it was perfect. There wasn't no glitches. It was released in its best form.
Yes, it was.
Hades 2,
super slick experience.
Yeah, and this is very good. Like I said last week, this is 120 frames per second on your Switch 2. It runs flawlessly. Yeah, 120 frames per second. That's 1080p, but it still looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Smooth as silk. It's got that. I just love the way the combat works. It's taken that on from the original Hades. Literally rest your thumb over them 4 buttons. So you've got your dash, you've got your special attack, your cast, and you can roll around doing your bit. And you get such a formula to doing it. It's brilliant fun. You get in a routine. But then they've took that game and they haven't gone crazy, but they've added these bits to it. So the story is carried on. All the levels are obviously different. You're in a different area. It's bigger because you've got a underworld and an above world now. So then you've got new weapons because you've got a new character. Plus you've got incantations you can sort of make in a cauldron for items that you collect. That's another new thing. You can collect flowers, rocks as you go around. You can plant little bits. There's all these little bits added in just to make us almost out in the original Hades are making it that bit bigger and that bit better. And I think they've done it. I think they've knocked it out of the park.
I'll be honest, RGT, we're recording so much content lately, I barely remember what I said and where. But within the last week, either on air, off air, or on Flashback, possibly we talked about how gaming sequels tend to be better because it leaves all the things, it finally brings in all the things that they picked up from fan feedback. It also incorporates all the things they initially wanted to leave in their magnum opus, which is the original Hades, all the things they didn't have time for, didn't have the scale or ambition to implement. Is Hades 2 the reflection of all of the things that you wanted it to be, or are there some inclusions that take it down a road that you aren't keen on personally?
At the moment, I think this is an almost perfect sequel, as best as you could do it, because there's nothing worse than a company or devs making a sequel, which has been done in the past, some games where they've done really well with the first title, and the second title they've tried to go so big and massive that they've almost forgot what the game was about, what that original title was. Now, they haven't done that. They know what this game is about. So they've given you that similar formula, but mixed it up enough so there's different gods now that you speak to. There's obviously the weapons are different, your characters are different, but you've still got the essence of what Hades is and what made Hades such a good game. So you've still got that amazing gameplay, and it's just fleshed out even more. There's little bit extras to do and a slightly bigger game, and you just think that's the way you make a sequel. You take that core of what's really good and add in the bits that can even take it to the next level, and I think that's what they've done. I think this is going to be in the shape for a few awards, I think, this year. I mean, it is rated. Last time I looked, it was 95, I think, on Metacritic. It was rating highly. But I think it's fantastic. And I don't think it released that expensive either. No, I think it was... I can't remember what I paid for it in the end on Switch 2. But yeah, definitely. So I haven't played the other versions, but I would imagine that they're all... Supergiant do release the game pretty much as is in a good state. So I have not had any frame tear, and I've had no frame rate issues, nothing. It is as smooth as silk and a really, really good experience. And I think some roguelikes can get boring if there's not enough variety and content in there. Talk to me about
the sound and the music. Because me and you have talked at end about how the music kicks in Hades, and that's almost the fuel that drove you through the first game. Even when you bum back down to that first level and the beat kicked in, you're like, it's all right, it'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, in Hades, you obviously had that sort of rock guitar in the original, and then as soon as you heard that bounce, you knew this is similar. There's not a lot of variety music, a bit like Hades, but there's very clever sound design. So you'll start a level, and this one starts with a slightly different tune this time. But they don't have it overpower, and the music comes in at certain moments. When you're in them battles, you'll have music, but they have that slightly dulled down because the actions and the sound is so good in this game. And then when you meet your different gods, there's different sounds. It's really good. It's not overpowering the music. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you'd be able to make a soundtrack out of it, but still very well done. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like where a movie uses the music in certain points.
Yes.
As well as the pictures, and that's what they've done. And it's very good. I honestly cannot, so far, find anything I do not like about this game. I think the controls are brilliant. The graphics are fantastic. The frame rate is superb. The story's really good. I always wondered what they do with this story and how they take it, but it's generic, but it works well with this because it introduces you to new characters, new gods. I think, this is done really well. But you still got a few like Sharon, who's in there. You used to meet him to buy stuff off him. He's still there, and he still only just gurgles at you whenever you ask him a question. So there's a few of the old classic characters in there, but really good.
I don't think I've seen the Ponzi's hove into view so strongly and me think so nervously. What am I going to put in here? I purposely almost not played anything new.
Well, the thing is as well, I was saying to you this the other day on the show. I think it was on the show or when we were off air, but I thought this had been a really dry year.
But
right?
It's not.
It's not a dry year, and I think the reason is because normally games get lost on us, don't they? Do you know what I mean? People are reviewing a new Assassin's Creed, they're reviewing a GTA, they're reviewing this, reviewing that. There's a new Hitman, blah, blah, blah. And we can't play them all. We don't have the physical time to play it. So a lot of games get missed. But this year, it seems to have been, yes, I've probably only purchased day and date 5 games this year. But they've all been really good and I've played them all. Do you know what I mean? Because of that being a bit drier, you concentrate on the ones that you want rather than games getting lost. So, in a way, it's probably done us a bit of a favour.
I've been saving all mine while I get the move shenanigans out of the way. Definitely. No. I want everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
So there's been lots of games, but I've been a bit sort of lax, really. So I'd imagine the Ponzi's next year is going to be a reflection of what made 2025 great in 2026. Which is a bit of a shame. That's any more you've got to bring to the table about Hades or anything else that you've dipped your sweaty, previously discussed and described oversized hands into?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ever wondered what a rhythm-based stealth game with dinosaurs might look like? Or a farming sim in space with zombies? Welcome to the Gaming Blender podcast. I'm Matt, and with my co-host Scott, we take a random game genre and random game mechanics, blend them all up, and pitch wild, totally hypothetical games you've never heard of, and maybe shouldn't. New episodes every other week. Hit play and unleash your inner game dev. No coding required. Search the Gaming Blender on your favorite podcast app now.
What did you call them? My gammon gauntlets.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't really played anything else. I have got the Retron 5 all fired up now, ready to get some of them old SNES and NES and Mega Drive games playing. I had lost the power supply for that and was a bit worried to make sure I got the right power supply for my Retron 5, but I did buy one and it's working fine, thank God, because I didn't want that to be fried. So I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. I don't even know if they sell them anymore, so I was a bit worried.
What will it do to the... Is it just literally slamming them through on an HDMI? Is it doing anything to the games at all, or is it just giving you that functionality to play all your carts in one place whenever you want?
It's HDMI 720, so not 1080.
I could hold you 10 foot away from a dog shit, or I could hold you 2 millimeters away from one. I think either which way you would know what it was.
Good way of putting it. Hyperkid need that as their sales pitch. But yeah, it's. I did put on the Discord this week the controller, because the controller you get with it is absolute garbage. It is the worst controller ever made.
You've got options there, haven't you?
Yeah, because you've got ports on the side for NES, SNES, Mega Drive, but I use 8-bit doos, so I just have the little dongle in, and you can use that controller. And you can use, if you've only got a Mega Drive pad, you can use that Mega Drive on SNES if you want. That you can control anything with any pad. So originals, aftermarket, it will take anything. But also it will play NES, Famicom, SNES, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive. It'll play Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, then you could have Master System adapter in, so it just frees that up. And then the interface, you could change everything. You've got scan lines and settings and bits and pieces. I just have it in sort of a 720 picture on a 4x3.
Excuse me. I've got a frog in my throat this week, listeners, so forgive me. Is this the one that kind of remembers the carts that you put in it, or is it not that one? No,
this is... It's a bit controversial to the hardcore gamer, because a lot of people don't like it, because rather than playing, it's not FPGA. So when you put your cartridge in, it dumps the ROM. and then plays that. So it's not playing physically straight off the cartridge. But for me, for easy use,
does it have a memory where if you dump these ROMs, will it keep the ROMs or not?
No, it hasn't got a hard drive per se like that, but it has memory for your save points, and you can add your own save points in. So you can save games whenever you're playing through. So it's quite good like that. And like I say, there's a lot of customization you can do to your home screen. It's also got SD card slot on the back, so you can. They do updates for the system, very rarely, but occasionally.
So you can't dump ROMs to your SD card then?
No, it won't play off the SD card. But what it will do is you can go online and download all the cheat lists or all the bits and pieces. So, like, I think I've got an SD card in there with every Mega Drive and everything there's cheat on, just on the SD card. So when you fire the game up, they say, "Oh, you've got cheats on your SD card for this. Do you want to, use any of them?" And you'll just go, "I'll have a look through." And
I've never really thought about the Retron. I've got my own OG hardware, but obviously that setup takes up, as you find, an awful lot of space. And one of the things that would make me slightly more interested in the Retron would be if I could just dump my ROMs in it and then have like curated artwork at the start. I mean, that would be nice for all those different machines as well. So you could dump all your ROMs of all the games that you've got owned and love, that you've got nostalgia for, and then you put them away in a box. You don't need to get them out again. I mean, to me, that would be just beautiful.
Well, I think the only other one I've got that on is I've got a PlayStation Classic that they done, which was obviously not brilliant, but I have got Auto Bleem on that, and that'll play. Doesn't quite manage Dreamcast, but it will play anything up to that. So you can stick your whole library on that and just have a little PlayStation Classic underneath. Where you go. So there's ways of doing that. The Retron, I mean, it's not anything like analog. Analog make these good quality.
Yeah, to me, they are like, I mean, they've got the functionality I want, I suppose, in terms of capturing your ROMs and the information up on the screen that we've seen on the N64 one that they've done lately. But they're almost like the extreme end of
because
it, aren't they?
You still need every version of them to play all the consoles you've got. Whereas that's why I like the Retron, because I can play 11 or 12 different systems through, and sometimes that's just nice not having to get the Game Boy out if you want a quick go on Tetris, to stick it in the front of the Retron and play it your telly.
You're the retro expert. What's that one that they did where you can like bolt different things on the front of it? Like, here's the N64.
Polymega.
The Polymega. Is that going to do anything that I want it to do, or is that going to end up being a cumbersome drawer full of different faces? So
the thing is,
PS1 or Face A.
The Polymega is out there. A lot of people have them in America, Canada. People have got them. They haven't really come over here yet. I don't really know if they're going to
Sounds like the perfect thing for me to get into and back religiously, knowing that I've pretty much walking into a fail from the get-go. So I'm a Polymega guy. Yeah. 100%.
Well, I think the thing that interests me with Polymega is, one, they've got the disc adapter on the front, so you can buy that one and you can put your Saturn, your Mega CD, your PS1, and then that will dump the ROM on it, so you can put your whole game collection through and just build it on the screen.
That's got that, because that's got kind of like, I'm busy curating one night, finding all the artworks or whatever. I'm busy one week arranging them into a folder. Are you gaming, George? No, I'm arranging.
I'm just trying to find the original artwork for Altered Beast.
Yeah. Do I want to be that guy? Looks like I do. I'm going to do some research on the Polymega.
To get it in a PAL region, I'm not sure. It's very misty and foggy. I mean, also, they originally said they were FPGA, but then it turns out they're not FPGA. But the system looks well made. The people I've seen review it, it looks good. You've got the different controllers they make, from Turbo Graphics to, like an Xbox 360 controller. So it's got that very open scope with the different, what would you call it? Modular, isn't it? It's modular.
So I've gone to the What Hi-Fi magazine for gaming, and I've looked at the retro machines, and after all the reviews, I've decided that I'm a Polymega guy. I need to research how much this is going to wound my pocket.
If you can get one as well. That's another thing. I looked into it quite a lot and found it quite hard to
I'm
find.
the 13th Lord Ponsonbury. Do you really genuinely think that a hurdle like that is going to stop me getting Polymega?
Yes.
You're absolutely right. But in my fantasy, it stopped nothing.
Always the thing I liked about it as well, with that modular look, it almost looked a bit 80s hi-fi Mega CD one. I know it's a bit more than that, a bit different plastic, but to have that just sitting stacked underneath your TV,
it gives you Mega CD. It gives you ultimate stack vibes, doesn't it? And that's where I've kind of, because they sell the Retron in my local Argos, you know.
Do they really? What, the Retron 5, do they?
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Wow. I know they've done a Retron 3 as well. And also, I'm thinking, I know there's probably people screaming at their car stereos at the minute saying, RGT, but it's not original hardware. You're not playing on original hardware. Yes, I've got the original hardware. But as the years go on, the uptake of keeping these original hardwares going with the recapping and the bits and pieces is getting harder and harder to get done. I've now got another console that need repairing, to which I have actually emailed someone twice who hasn't even replied to me. Thanks for that. But these sort of systems, I think, are going to become more prominent as we go along because, you know, your Mega Drives, your SNESes, they're going to get rarer and rarer as collectors buy them, mod them, or use them and keep them at home. There's only going to be so many. So I think the Retron 5, the Polymega thing.
They've currently only really selling the Retron SQ HD gaming console.
What's that? Is that the little cube one that plays Game Boy?
Is that all it does? It looks like a little... I'll tell you what, it looks like a combination between a toaster and the sort of shredder Mac would have designed in the early 2000s.
Is that sort of that little turquoise cube sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Game Boy player. That's one of their... They've done random things.
That's the only one they've got at the moment. I thought that they had more.
Yeah, I don't know if they still make the Retron 5. They've made, like, Hyperkin have done controllers and that, and they've done, like, original Xbox controllers.
Yeah, you can buy a load of unofficial tap controllers from them. Yeah.
But, yeah, it's what it is, but it plays the games pretty well. You know, I can't complain too much, and it does give you that freedom to play as many consoles as you want just with having the one system. So, yes, I know it's controversial and not for everyone.
They've also got the Retro N5 all-in-one gaming console. Is that the one you're referring to?
Mine's just the Retron 5, but mine is about 15 years old now, I expect.
So this is the Retro N5, Retro all-in-one gaming console. $179.99, comes in a rather interesting shade of electric blue, I think I would call it. About this product. The Retron N5 is the most compatible retro console. Play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Famicom, Super Famicom, NES, Super NES, Genesis, Mega Drive. Poor old Game Gear. They only had to put one more slot on there.
Well, I think with mine, you can buy a cartridge adapter for the NES port, which is a Game Gear adapter. So if you get that adapter for the Retron 5, you can play Game Gear, and then that'll be an extra one, which I've sort of been quite tempted to get. But
wow.
It does make it a bit of a beast, but...
And then they've got the Evercade bar top in there at $229.
Yeah, I've been tempted with those, but I don't know where I'd put it because I've already got a bar top and I've already got an Evercade. So, I did get the rare collection this week for Evercade, so I'll be.
Oh, how's that working out for you? Not played it yet.
No, I haven't played it yet.
So, what games would that include?
Cool, you caught me now. I know it's got Battletoads. It's got a few of the Ultimate Play the Game ones as well. Let me just quickly look. Do you want to
I just wondered what sort of era we walked into the back of in terms of like how far into the rare catalogue does it go? Is it just like the Spectrum kind of era, or you said the NES, so we're into the NES era. Presumably it doesn't go into, I mean, what did they do in the SNES era? Nothing that they can put on a multi.
It's got 12 games on it. It's got Jetpack.
Yeah, Jetpack was the game I was referring to in the flashback episode that I couldn't remember.
I kept saying Jet Set Willy, but
Jetpack Refueled is the one that was on 360 arcade.
Yeah, and Lunar Jetman. You got Attic Attack, Saber Wolf,
of course
Underworld, Night Law.
Of course it did.
Gunfight. You got RC Pro Am, which is obviously their big game for the NES.
Battletoads.
Cobra Triangle.
Yeah.
Battletoads.
Yes.
Battletoads Arcade. So
Yeah.
you can play the arcade one. It's probably one of the only ways you can play that, unless you've got a ROM. Conker's Pocket Tales. Which is his...
That's the Game Boy version.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color, I believe.
Yeah, and that's what's on there. So I reckon they'll be doing a rare collection too as well, I expect. But yeah.
It depends what they're allowed to do. Because they're not going to have the Ninty games on there, are they?
No.
You're not going to be playing Donkey Kong Country on that bad boy. You might play Jet Force Gemini as an example. You might play Grab by the Ghoulies.
Yeah.
You may play Jetpack Reloaded or whatever I just said. I've forgotten the name of. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we better get on to what you've been playing. We went on a bit of a tangent there, but no,
I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because it looks like the fever dream of a man who's been a little bit too near electrical contact cleaner. One thing I want to say before we dive into all that is that if you keep hearing us reference Flashback and say, "Oh, I haven't seen an episode Flashback. What's all this about?" They did that episode on the main channel quite a long time ago called The Pilot. Well, that was the pilot, and now it's all assembled up under its own show. So please go find it, even if you've got no interest in retro. It gives you a great window into a moment in time and shows you how far gaming has changed. We've got an episode in 2009 RGT, an episode in 1992, and an episode in 1997 so far. So there should be something in there to whet your gaming appetite. Even if you stand up and say, "I don't play retro, it looks like CFAX," we all get nostalgic.
And if you listen to this now, Flashback is live now today. If you're listening, so quickly search it, have a look.
Hang on a minute, it's Gazump the main show.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, the main show will continue. Do not panic. This will probably come out late Tuesday now. All the pressure's on me. I see RGT feverishly working away so he can get a weekend. I'm going to be sat in the edit suite making him sound good, as his solicitor tells me.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. It takes so long to get it out. Yeah. So what have I been playing? I danced around a little bit more on GTA 4. I don't want this to turn into the GTA 4 podcast, so I'll move on swiftly. A little bit more Fallout.
Can I just quickly ask, how far are you into GTA 4? Are you getting towards endgame or?
I'm doing United Paper missions. I'm doing Patrick McCready missions. So
yeah, Patrick McCready. Yeah, so just over halfway, I expect.
I reckon that's where I'm at. Yeah,
2/3. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm really now staring down the barrel of the gun of doing a couple more of these missions and then having to make the decision between Playboy X and Dwayne. Historically, I've killed Playboy X, taking his flat, I think, which is an option.
Yeah.
I've never killed Dwayne in all my years and all my playthroughs. I'm killing Dwayne.
Yeah, it's. I think you get more from doing Playboy X, but I think it would be nice to see the other side by killing Dwayne. So
I've never done it. There's no way on God's green earth I wake up one morning and go, "Yeah, I tell you, who's more deserving of my bullet? It would be Dwayne." And I've always then benefited from Playboy X's flat.
Yeah,
I use it. I always found it a bit sort of gross, if I'm honest with you. The houses in GTA are kind of cool, but they are so pointless.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's just that save hub, innit? That's all it is, really.
The TV adds value. But, after watching the two channels and flicking through an awful lot of static, I tend to get disappointed that I'm watching another advertorial for a knife show, so the serrated edge.
You just reminded me when I actually done my last playthrough and I actually did kill Playboy X and I managed to kill him really, really early. So normally there's a bit of a chase, isn't there, with him, I believe. But I don't know if the game went wrong or what. He'd hid behind the most minuscule chair you have ever seen that is never going to shield you. It would probably cover your little toe. So here was him thinking he was hiding, sideways on. So I just got a shotgun and blew him away there and then. There was no chase or anything.
Perfect. So that's what Playboy X would deserve.
Yeah. So, that
he'd crawl behind a chair like a worm, wouldn't he? He would.
Yeah. And the smallest chair he could find. I mean, there's a sofa over there, fella. Just get
I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't rate the sofa's sort of bulletproof intensity versus just the standard chair.
Yeah,
I would argue the survivability is exactly the same.
yeah, probably, yeah. But anyway,
Playboy X, he's thinking. Anyway, enough of that. So, a little bit of Fallout. Just moved the story forward a bit. Kind of enjoying that. And I think that might be it. I know I've been playing a lot of Gold Rush. Say a bit. They have actually gone back to that game that I thought was dead. I call it Gold Rush. It's actually now officially called Gold Mining Simulator. If you're predisposed to pain, you can go.
Was it called Gold Rush originally then, or
Yeah, now
did they lose the license?
Yeah,
did
the
they?
time to the TV show. Maybe that was timed, or maybe they had to pay more to keep it, and they didn't. It had a little bit more gravitas when it was all themed up with the characters from the show, and it had the music as well, which is obviously a lot more produced than the music they've ended up with. I think you know, they've ended up with probably some royalty-free music that sounds a bit like the music from Planet Coaster. So it's not offensive, but there's only 2 tunes, and after a while, even they start to grate a little bit. The game's broken as all hell. Moving my wash plant yesterday, I think I reloaded the game twice.
Oh,
But it's okay, because, well, the final time it was like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Why am I still drawing breath? But I went back to it like a loyal lapdog, and have now started mining you get a little starter area you're meant to kind of do by hand, and I've managed to squeeze my newly acquired big excavator in there.
you broke the game.
And it took me maybe 4 hours to dig a pit by hand. I've now come in and 1 bucket is worth a day's worth of work for a man, and I've just gone like, brrr, brrr, brrr. So it's been, that's been the freedom that it gives you. And I have to admit, when I played it 3 years ago, when I initially said to you, let's get this, thinking it would have multiplayer, but it doesn't, which is another foible of the game. It's been improved a lot. The digging mechanic is improved. You've got a little target window of where your bucket will penetrate the earth or tip the load that you've got, which is, I know that sounds like a very simple thing, but it completely changed the game in terms of where you're going and what you're doing. Because often you would dig for hours and think, well, why is this not full? Probably because you find a pile of earth just the other side of it, because the 3D perception, you think you're pouring it in the hopper, but you've actually just dumped 10 tons of earth behind this machine that you couldn't see. So that's now better received. If you get to your area that you're going to mine, relatively stable. If you get in your car to drive to the town, you will go through, even on PS5 Pro, 5 loading pauses where the game just stops.
What?
It
5?
rotates in the top right. Yeah. So you leave your mine and it holds probably 10 seconds while this thing spins in the top right-hand corner. And thank God for the spinning thing in the top right-hand corner, because this game would have been shelved. I turned to Rachel yesterday when I was playing it and said, it's a bit glitchy, isn't it? She said, yeah, this loading seems a bit much. I said, just think about this for a moment. It's 10 seconds for us and we're playing on PS5 Pro. This game is alleged to be playable on the PS4 base that came out in 2014 with its melted thermal paste and all that. I can't imagine how long that's almost Spectrum loading window, that amount of time where you'd be like, right, I'll go make a brew, come back.
Yeah, just get put a rubber band around your analog stick so your car's driving into town, just go off and make tea.
Or don't look at you can mess with the analog shoulders, friend, but don't you even dare try and correct your vehicle's directional travel with that left stick. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Oh dear.
And the collision window, so you get this nice little, you get this pickup truck anyway to do a lot of the grunt work with the grinding work, the forward and backward in with. It looks like a normal truck, but its collision window is about the same size as a Burj Khalifa. So you think you're going to make a turn and the front of your bumper just edged around the front edge of this fence. You think, I'll clear that. In real life, you'd clear it. In Gold Rush Simulator, no, mate.
He's flat in the house.
Well, it's one of those awesome games where even a small signpost is so bolted to the Earth's core that your truck will go from 60 miles an hour to 0 in a heartbeat.
It's literally 60 feet underground.
Oh,
80
more.
tons of concrete, this post, because you can hit it at any speed.
In the gold mining simulator universe, yeah, these things, by law, everything that ever touches the ground must have foundations that are probably 10 miles deep. There is nothing in this world, even a 2-foot land marker that designates the edge of your land, your property marker. They're normally, 2-inch stakes of wood with a little bit of tape on the end that you just smash into the ground. Well, there's no damage physics, but if there was, this thing would rip your sump out and then catapult you to the dark side of Mars.
That reminds me when we played SnowRunner multiplayer, we got in that area where we kept hitting tree stumps. And you'd be in your truck and I'd just hear, and you go, oh, for God, bloody tree stumps. Because sometimes that's hard to see them with the camera angle, isn't it?
It's got a lot of SnowRunner about it. It's got a lot of Farming Simulator about it.
Who makes it? Is it anyone?
No, some Russian or Polish developer from memory.
Okay,
not one that you've heard of. But they're busy at work on the sequel, which is done on Unreal Engine 5, which does have some appeal to me. It does have multiplayer as well, because that's the downside. When you get a big operation going, you're doing the loading, right? You then load a rock truck, which you then get out of your vehicle, drive the rock truck to the area, and then tip. Then you drive back. Then you walk back to the wash plant and get in your loader and dig up the dirt that you've just dropped to put it into your machine. That would be great in multiplayer. Absolutely one of the greatest experiences you could have with your mates if you were into this sort of stuff. It'd be amazing. In reality, it's a one-man show and you're doing every single last bit of it. So it does take away... Because the dream is you're in the excavator, your mate's doing the rock truck, you're digging that, you're loading that, he's buzzing backwards and forwards.
Yeah, that would make the game, really.
You're stockpiling dirt, so then you go back over to the wash plant, one of you loading it in, and then the other one walks the excavator over and clears the tailings away. What an absolutely buzzing gameplay loop for you and your mate, all while getting some virtual gold. No, in the Gold Rush universe, there aren't even AI friends either. You can employ people, but they're used as like skill multipliers.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's weird. So you don't see them working for you or doing anything, or...
I would say that they probably intended to do this and then realised that their engine was so highly charged. You know in GTA 4, that famous swing where you can load it up with physics and make it like catapult your car into space. Gold Rush Simulator is so highly charged in the physics department that as part of gold mining, you have these little plastic buckets that are kind of like the whole trade universally uses these white plastic buckets, almost like those catering ones, the white ones with the ripped lids on and the little metal handles.
Mm-hmm.
The whole industry uses these for collecting up gold-rich material that you've processed, okay, and a variety of other things, carrying water, doing lots of things. As soon as you grab one of these buckets in Gold Rush Simulator, our gamers will know what I'm talking about. It takes on this sort of scary, high-pitched vibration that you know is going to
end in blow.
It's going to just you pick it up, it's like. Oh, and the first time I ever played it, I was like, oh, better drop that. I've obviously got the wrong end of it somehow, and it's kind of glitched. No, every time you pick up a bucket, you watch it literally, and the vibrations get tighter and tighter the longer you hold it. So it's like,
oh, God.
What is going to happen with this bucket? And so far, nothing. But whatever you interact with just picks up this little vibration, and you're like, oh, my God, this place is so fragile that one misgrabbed bucket could probably catapult the whole of virtual Canada into oblivion. It's great. You feel like you're walking on the very top of a primed, ready-to-explode hair-triggered nuclear bomb. And you've got real no idea. And after a while of living on this nuclear bomb, you get a bit casual, don't you? You think, oh, well, that'd be all right. I've done loads of things here and it's never exploded. But let me tell you, the big crash is coming. And I can't wait to see what the hell that looks like.
Yeah.
When every single... I lost a hose to the ground yesterday.
A hose? What, just fell through the map?
It fell through the map. But the hoses have this thing where they don't have infinite length, but obviously there's a graphic. When you plug in one end, you kind of can unfurl it. Now, there's a limit to how far you can unfurl it. Now, when you finish and you want to move things around, you kind of wind these hoses up. Well, I wound mine, I followed it and started winding it to the top of this hill. Then I looked down, and the hose was kind of glitching, so I was winding through the ground into the ground. And then all of a sudden it just disappeared. And it must have just got attached to the bottom of this completely open to the void map. So if I glitch through this map, which is possible because you dig and disrupt the terrain.
You find a hose. Dangling into the ether.
Yeah, into this middle of nowhere, just random fall. And with me will be this hose that's already been falling for millennia. And I can grab it, I can hold it, I can use it like a scarf, and it can twine my body in it while I fall through the forever void like a blanket.
You'll probably see my my Batman there as well when I fell through the map on Arkham Asylum on the Switch.
All characters have ever fallen through a map anywhere suddenly just respawn in this sort of free fall that they get gathered in Gold Rush Simulator. Wow. On that note, it's time for the news. We scoured the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, RGT. Oh, I'm first up. Okay, so it's only nearly 300th episode of the show that you should know intimately, George. Bit of Xbox Studios news, but as a bonus news, you've not heard that in a while. Bit of bonus Switch 2 news wrapped up within it. We got Ben Kerry, the man who, if it was read out, what's it called? Registration in the morning at primary school would have been called Kerry Ben, much to the humorous chagrin of his school colleagues. But he's fought through that and arrived at a point in time where he's saying, full shame on you, because I write for Pure Xbox and you work at the local town council's canteen. I don't know where this is going. It's not a true story. It's just my little role play. Anyway, Call of Duty may be heading to Nintendo as Xbox dev seeks talent with Switch experience. Remember, Microsoft committed to putting Call of Duty on Nintendo platform amidst all of the Activision drama a few years back? Well, we've not really seen much activity in the space since, but after confirming that this move was still in the works back in the summer, one of the much beleaguered COD dev teams, no doubt, is now seemingly hiring for a Switch development of some sort. Over on LinkedIn, if you want to find out what's going on in the gaming industry, let's go and see what people they're hiring. Sledgehammer Games, who's most recently developed 2023's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, is hiring for a senior technical artist role. What makes this particular job role different is that within the finer details, Sledgehammer notes that the bonus for this role will be someone with AAA mobile or Switch experience. In this case, then, it's looking like COD 2027 could be making its way to Nintendo platforms, presumably the Switch 2, given the system's gulfing power from Switch 1. Don't you believe it? Yeah. Developer Infinity Ward is supposedly helming next year's COD, so it may be that one is where the series makes its journey back to the Switch. Of course, or a Switch debut. Of course, there's also a chance that Infinity Ward is working on something similar, hasn't mentioned it anywhere, but for now, that remains to be seen. All we know is that Sledgehammer Games seems to be making a move towards Call of Duty Switch development, which will hopefully apply to don't panic, Switch owners. You're going to get some, if you need some military action, and all those games on the dashboard don't cut it for you. COD's coming, baby. That's the reason you bought a Switch, in the vain hope that you'd get COD. At this point, RGT, I finish that news article and think to myself, if you've gone this long without COD, and you were only in the Nintendo ecosystem, do you really need COD?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I mean, Call of Duty's in a funny place at the moment. After all this massive takeover of Activision and bits and pieces, highest anyone's paid for a games company, and I remember you saying to me, COD is over the peak. They're paying big bucks for a company with a game that's declining. And I think from the latest release, it's probably showing that. I just keep seeing loads of memes about the new game and people are not enjoying it. So I'm wondering if for the next game, they're trying to get it on as many platforms as possible to just try and get the sales. I mean, I even saw a meme the other day and that was there was a picture of a guy's car and the window was smashed and there was stuff everywhere. And he said, look, just be careful. Some villain has broken into my car and left me a copy of Call of Duty in it.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, is it that? I mean, I'm not into those games. You're not into those games. So for me to comment, I don't know. I know Battlefield 6 was really popular. A lot of people seem to be playing that instead, but I don't know. I mean, you tell us, if you're out there and you play COD, what is the new one like? And also, if you're a Switch 2 owner, do you want to see it on the Switch?
I think they're good points. We want to hear from you, Switch owners. Is this something that even mildly interests you? One would imagine it is. It's the sort of thing in the playground where Johnny got a Switch 2 and all his mates are like, oh, I've got Xbox Series X, I've got PlayStation 5. And he's like, oh, don't you discount the Switch 2. It's got games that you can't even imagine to have. And they're like, oh, whatever, has it got COD? And he's like, no, I haven't got COD, But now he's seen whispers. He's like, COD's coming. He's got his chest out. He's gone in with his camo backpack on. He's gone with a camo rip on his chest. He's a big COD man now. He can go to school feeling confident that he can face his mates. At least with the Switch 2 owners, at least, bare minimum. Online. God knows what a COD install is going to do to a Switch's memory allotment. It's going to get absolutely spanked. One would imagine you want the game keycard for that bad boy.
Yeah, what is COD now? 120 gigs? I mean,
that's going to be one of those game keycards like Switch, like Star
Wars
Outlaws.
No, maybe it'll be like when we used to have the Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation 1 and you just have multiple cards that you'll have to just keep popping in one, exchanging them out. Can you imagine that, having 5?
I don't know. Part of the nostalgia in me saying this is great, but one would imagine that the exchange of these cards in a portable machine. Imagine you're on a plane, you've got your bag in the locker above, you're halfway through a level in COD, you think, well, they can't do this to me, not now. Yeah. And during the flight, it's like you've just pulled half down on the trigger. It's like, boom, congratulations, insert game key 6. Oh my God. Excuse me. What are you doing? I'm getting my kid's toy out. Hang on a minute. We ain't got any kids. Yeah, don't ask.
Then you drop it into someone's drink.
God. Someone's crotch.
But yeah, that is going to have to be, it's either key card or download only. That is going to be a massive one. It'll be interesting, I think. I think it's probably long overdue to be on there. I think originally the original Switch was just, it weren't going to work and it just weren't powerful enough or to be able to run that properly, COD. I think Switch 2, yeah, you're in a better place.
Do you know what they could have done as a holding over for that? It depends how much money you were willing to invest in getting up and running. But if you put the COD classics, the PS2s, the OG Xbox ones, or trilogy, okay. Big Red one, those sorts of ones. It's not the full itch, but it certainly would have give little Johnny that little bit of extra kudos in the classroom. It can run COD. Not loud COD, I'm talking. All right. Well, technically it's as powerful as an Xbox or on the edge of the 360. It's on the edge of the PS3, possibly the Switch.
Yeah.
So we could have had COD 2 from the 360. We could have had all the ones that were on that era of console that hit big. We could have had all that recycled. Would it have created a little well of Switch happiness if every year they were getting a 10-year-old COD? I reckon they'd have ate it.
I think so. And also that would have probably brought people in ready for when this game does drop on the Switch too. So, it have stirred up some newer customers. But
because older games seem to perform quite well on the Switch. I'm not saying it's the older games, but last gen games that were big hits on the big two, making their way to Switch. They've always been treated quite respectfully, actually. Look at Witcher. That got a free pass, didn't it? It launched in a bit of a mess. We got a free pass. You look at some of the probably slightly newer games that the console, even the Switch 1 was running. Subnautica, No Man's Sky, Outer Worlds. Would it have been too much to ask for an old COD?
No, I think you're right. I think they missed the mark a bit there, because not only that, even if it didn't sell gangbusters, you're on a console that's got over 100 million users. So even if you're only 10% of it
And
buy it, you've still got a big percentage playing it.
And there comes a time in every single one of those 100 million users where there's quite a large percentage is going to feel a little bit like they've got, no disrespect, because I do love the Switch and the Switch 2, but every grown man who's got one wakes up some mornings feeling like they've left a little bit of their testosterone behind. Correct me if I'm wrong, RGT, because they're playing this Switch console. And every now and then, to kind of justify themselves to themselves, there comes a time where a man feels like he wants to put in a militaristic shooter. I think Switch 1 owners probably had that feeling more than any console owner. And
also, I think, yes, we don't mean this as a critique, but most people who had the original Switch did have another console. That was their market. But, you know, for people who only had, say, a Series X and a Switch, and then, you know, our sort of age, and then suddenly they dropped on their big red one or Call of Duty 2 or something like that. Oh, God, I remember playing that on a PS2. Oh, I'm going to have to download that and have a go at that again. I remember that game. So that's a good point. I think there was a market there.
I think they've revived these games. I think you find quite a few of them on Games Pass.
Yeah.
So while you're at it, have a bit of an experiment with what you can do with the Switch 1. Get that pack out. Make it compatible with Switch 2. We're laughing. This will sell. Just keep quiet.
I think and also going back to Switch 2, I think you'll see quite a few of these doing that now, because, you know, a lot of companies have been looking, you know, they're putting Cyberpunk on there. Oh, that's actually all right. They've put Star Wars on there. Oh, that's all right. Maybe we should put ours on there now, you know. So
what I would say about that, RGT, is if you're going to do a Switch port of a relatively current game, now would be the time. Because in 4 years' time, when we're into PS6 and Xbox 5000, whatever they're going to call it, probably Xbox One. Again. Just to confuse everybody.
Xbox 1.0.
Whatever they're going to do with it, the Switch is going to look like a tired old little pit pony. But right now, it looks like the little engine that could. So now is the time to bring this stuff where you can get away with it. Because in 4 years' time, we're going to be back into the can the Switch run it scenario.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's their sort of release window at this mid to end of gen each time. They're out of sync, aren't they? I know they don't say they're into the generations like everyone else, but it does. You will compare it, and they are out of sync with it. So, and
now is the time where they can look like they're right on the edge. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Okay, so what's this next bit of news you found, RGT?
Well, this is over on time extension. Quite an interesting one, this, and, you know, currently up to date as well. Did you spot this NES-related blunder in Stranger Things Season 5? The Duffer Brothers give Nintendo's console too much credit. The Duffer Brothers' hugely successful Stranger Things is now into its fifth and final season, bringing to a close the 80s-infused horror sci-fi series that kicked off all the way back in 2016. My God, nearly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Nostalgia for the decade gave us the compact disc, and Prozac is a huge part of Stranger Things' appeal. And we've already seen pop culture icons like Ghostbusters, Dragon's Lair, and Transformers referenced in previous seasons. Video games are featured again in Season 5, but it seems that the researchers behind a particular scene in the third episode didn't do quite enough groundwork. In the scene, Derek Turnbow, a.k.a. Jake Connolly, is seen playing on his beloved NES, but the game on the TV is the arcade's version of Ghosts and Goblins, but not the NES port. Some people, including ourselves, in an earlier version of this news story, assumed the game of the TV is Ghouls and Ghosts which was only released on the Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and NEC Super Graphics, the latter of which was never released officially outside of Japan. However, it's clearly the coin-op original of the first game, and the black border at the top is a giveaway. When Turnbow's sister swipes the car out of the console, it clearly has a Ghost and Goblin sticker on it, so it seems that someone has just mixed up the footage of the coin-op and home ports. An easy mistake to make, of course. It's hard for me to feel too smug about this observation, because in the alternate reality in which Turnbow resides, every kid has a hang-on cabinet in their bedroom. The lucky gits. The Ghost and Goblin series would continue with titles such as Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, and Ghost and Goblins Resurrection. Whew. And he just says, thanks to Shiru for pointing this out. Now, to me, this is probably like a little bit of how we remember games. It's a bit of a rose-tinted glasses thing, this. Because we probably remember Ghosts and Goblins looking like this on our NES, but when we do plug that cartridge in... and you see a little bit of that colour clash a bit. You think, I don't remember it like that. So
one thing I would say about this is this kid's got an arcade machine in his bedroom.
Yeah,
he had G.I. Joe merch and He-Man, Master of the Universe merch everywhere. He's probably just got his dad, who in the universe is extremely rich, just to pay for someone to recode him this version of this game. But I remember when it was on, I thought to myself, I looked at it and thought, okay.
It's almost Super Nintendo-esque, that.
Okay. You don't see it really that long, and it's kind of like a vision of a CRT as well, and it's kind of blink if you miss it moment. And I did think, they've got everything else so right. I want to give them a pass, but even I was thinking that looks a bit good for the NES. Transpires it was. But I don't know, as out of like... And it was a sort of one of those moments that kind of framed the kid up as a bit of a sport brat. He had to be playing something on there. I guess this was probably an easy, safe bet. I think the safer bet would have been Mario, if I'm honest. But they had him here playing this, which is a very, it was a big game in the moment. Obviously, a very difficult game designed to suck money out of your pocket in the arcade. Like a lot of these early games did. It was nice to see. In the world of like getting every other detail correct, I guess they just skip the pooch on this one a little bit. I'm not gonna. There's other faux pas within Stranger Things similar to this that probably are bigger. So let's let this slide. But they could have had a myriad of games in there. They could have had Ghostbusters. They could have had literally. They could have done anything. And probably got away with it. And they, for the most part, they did with this. It's just strange sort of girlfriendless nerds like you or I are, GT, that would sort of notice something like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yes, it is a little bit of a faux pas. It might have just been for ease of use. It might have been that it was easy to use that footage. It might have been, maybe...
I just don't think, I'll be honest with you, if I was cutting a TV show and it was like, okay, show me the footage of... we can't use that. Well, that's the NES. Oh, what's that one? That's the arcade port. We use that. At least people know it's the guy running down the screen. And as you say, as gamers, the nostalgia and playing different versions, newer versions of games along the way, and Ghouls and Ghosts in this era's, terribly guilty of the remake as well. This era thinks we're bad for remakes, but this era had a similar relationship with them, I would say. And it's hard to remember what the game was that you did play. So this scratches the itch. A load of people see it, go, oh, Ghouls and Ghosts, awesome, he's playing that, that's cool. Move on, They're not ones to collect up 80s ephemera and relook at it critically on a weekly basis. And
I just, like I said at the start, I just look at this as that's how we remember playing it if we had a NES. In our mind, this is how good that looked.
Well, and again, don't forget, in 30 years' time, people are still going to be watching Stranger Things, okay? And I would say the majority of people playing that with a sub-memory of this game gets ever thinner as we go forward. So then in 30 years' time, when someone's watching this, you probably don't want it to be so accurate, yet so egregious that people are like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, so I suppose there's a bit of filmmaker mode in there as to get across the point of the game, but get it in its best image that
And we're talking
gives you that memory.
a 5-second airtime, you know.
Yeah, yeah. But if there's, you know what the hardcore gamers are like, if there's a mistake, they find it. I think you'll find that is the 1989 board from...
And they did.
Yeah,
And
they did. Straight away.
So, last bit of news. It's a bit of PlayStation news over from our friends, blood brothers, because me and Sammy Barker met on a muddy, wet bridge on a, what can only be described as a public footpath in a secret location in England somewhere. And on top of this bridge, beneath us a raging stream, we followed the Native American Indian blood brother tradition by a small cut, tying our wrists together so our blood can intermingle, forming a blood brother. That's what me and Sammy Barker did that wet afternoon.
Wow. I wondered where you went when we were trying to sort the scripts out.
Don't you worry about it. When Sammy Barker says, let's be brothers, you don't question it. You don't question it. You don't even question it. Although I would say that practice in modern world, a little bit dangerous. PS5, anyway, my blood brother Sammy Barker goes on to say the PS5 is edging out the Switch 2 in the UK so far this year with a big Black Friday.
It's the little version of Black Friday.
Listen, guys, I've had facial reconstruction surgery. What do you expect? Black Friday expected. There's no beating around the bush. The Switch 2 has enjoyed an outstanding launch in most countries. Nintendo's new hybrid hardware has broken records, aided by excellent marketing and ample supply. It's proven so successful in its first 6 months on the market that the Mario Maker has actually increased its forecast for the format's first fiscal year. But in the UK, as the end of October, the PS5 still rules supreme. The game business, Payward, reports that despite seeing its year-over-year sales decline by 15%, likely due to price hikes, it's keeping its nose in front of the Switch 2. And remains the best-selling console of the year in Britain. Obviously, the PS5 has the advantage of being a more mature piece of hardware, has been available for the entirety of 2025, where Nintendo's console didn't launch until the 5th of June, but the Switch 2's debut was a particularly big one. So it's impressive to see the PS5 stay in front of it. In fact, in October specifically, Sony's console registered a 36% increase in sales, which saw it assert its position as the best-selling system of the month. And the platform holder has a very strong selection of Black Friday deals, which is already seen to dominate in Spain. So expect it to enjoy an even stronger November overall. Whether it can hold out against the Switch 2 over Christmas remains to be seen. Some readers may note that the UK has always been a more challenging territory for Nintendo, even though it still enjoys plenty of success here. Sony, we suspect, won't be thinking too much about the competition and just focus on bringing players into its ecosystem. Its console now closing in on the fabled 100 million unit milestone with a strong holiday. There's a chance it could hit it before GTA 6 even launches next year. RGT, how is the PS5 still competent enough to be outselling the Switch 2, the freshly launched hybrid machine, which was the hottest ticket in gaming early part of this year? Its sales have now falling into, now these aren't small numbers, but now fallen into a second place against the PS5 on the run up to Christmas. Is that because little Johnny feels like it's the more powerful machine, and then the Switch 2 may come once he's secured his PS5 and he needs his transitional gaming experience? What's happening here?
I think Sony have been very clever of late. They've sort of sat back. They've sort of thought, right, Xbox is doing their prices going up. We've spoke about this chip shortage, blah, 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 blah. And they're going to have their third increase this year. Switch didn't do any Black Friday deals, as far as what I know, especially over here. We didn't get any special discount consoles.
The closest thing you're going to get is a roll-up bundle, and they're not that great.
No. So, and I think PlayStation thought, right, hang on. We've got a few former Xbox users a bit out in the ether at the moment. Let's try and draw them in. So Nintendo isn't doing a sale. Right, let's slap 100 quid off our consoles. Let's see what happens. And people have lapped it up. And that is really, these last few weeks has really pushed them. And I think quite a clever strategy, really. 100 quid off. So you think with the price hike of the Xbox, the price point of the Switch 2, where the PS5 sat, and then you're reducing it by another 100, that makes quite a big gap, which is quite appealing to gamers who are a bit out in the ether at the moment, or Christmas time. Let's grab this for little Johnny for Christmas, or a dad that's thinking, I might get back into gaming, or hang on, PlayStation here, they're.
Well, is it the transit? Is it the final sort of, in all consoles life, you get the early adopters and you get the people that couldn't quite get on the early adopter wave. At this point in time in the PlayStation 5's life, prior to the launch of GTA 6, I would kind of pin it. I think we're a year ahead in the timeline, but I would kind of pin it at I would say the PlayStation 5 is currently here versus PS4. GTA or Red Dead just come out or is coming out, and Spider-Man's on the horizon. It's actually a good time to jump on, and a great transitionary point for a PlayStation 4 adopter to come across to the PlayStation 5. The library of exclusives is now filled. Mm-hmm. The selection of upgraded versions of the games you've been struggling to play on your PlayStation 4 are now here and fully fledged and no compromise. Mm-hmm. The upgrade path is clear and visibly appreciable. Mm-hmm. It's the kind of jumping in time because Sony have been carrying this sort of cart full of people with them. The PlayStation 5 is the horse and the PS4 is the cart that they're riding on. And people have been hopping off at different points in time. I would say now is that kind of transition point for happy PS4 gamers that are still in the ecosystem to transition to the PS5. They've saved up enough money. They've whinged at the wives, girlfriends, kids enough to the point in time where they've whittled their resistance down to zero. Now's jumping off point. And there's 100 million conversions there, per se, as an argument. There's another 30, 40 conversions there from your happy PS4 users into happy PS5 users. Is this the jumping off point where we see that sort of large transitionary market moved with them?
I think so. I mean, there seems to be a bit of a drive from Sony of late. I noticed with the PS Plus, with the games they're adding, there seems to be more being added. There seems to be more appeal to try and get people onto premium or extra or essentials, and I think that is because they're enticing more users, so they seem to be making that digital format more appealing. The last month's games seem to be a bit more attractive, and
we've
there seems to be more of them.
RGT as a talking point. Like PlayStation Premium is probably something they didn't want to do, but if someone's coming new to the console, no games in the library, 2 months of premium free. Boom. All of a sudden, you're in this world where you've got a load of games that you maybe haven't played. You're thinking this is a good deal. In fact, getting new users in, getting them hooked up on premium early is probably a wise move.
Yeah, I mean, because you've got your Uncharted in there, you got your Last of Us in there,
Spider-Man's
in there.
Or transitioning from PS4, don't worry, you don't need to buy it all again. Here you go. Or here's those games you kind of were looking at that you couldn't run on there. Here you go.
Yeah.
And now, this far into the lifespan, that actual PS5 dip-in library, to us, it's like, we've played it, finished it, played it, finished it, played it, finished it. You just got your PS5, you turned up, and it's like, boom. This, all ready to go. PS5 versions, ray tracing. You've got your penis out. It's like Christmas Day. You're showing your missus your new console. She's like, what's that? That's ray tracing, babe. All right? Yeah, that's what that is. This justifies you having to work all those extra shifts to get me this.
Yeah.
My Hero RGT takes his Switch to a family meal. I'm doing this.
Don't care if you're family. Do not interrupt my gaming.
Don't look at me.
End of.
Christmas dinner, all set round the TV. So the whole dining table's orchestrated so you can sit at the head of the table. Your beloved wife Don's.
Dad cuts. Mum's feeds. So I just carry on playing. Lovely. Carry on.
I tell you what, I don't think a noise on this podcast has ever been so spot on. The almost brat sounding noise of your mouth falling open and demanding to be filled again was probably the most realistic sort of noise.
And my God, if I get a drip of gravy down my Nintendo t-shirt, you've never seen a game of rage so much in all your life.
Who licks it off?
Donna.
Something even parents won't do.
And she has to be quick, because if that stains, there's hell to pay.
Does she come at you with like a pointed tongue or a flat tongue? Is it like a, or is it like a?
Oh no, yeah, that's a full scoop right up the shirt. Yeah, she don't miss a drop. Anywho, yeah, if you're new to PS5 and you think I know what you like,
no, RGT. If you're new to the show, this is probably what it's like. You probably stick around. If you're disgusted, download it. We'll, start episode 1. We'll weigh your tolerance down.
Wear your tolerance down. Yeah, so if you did get a PS5, back on track there, and we like our physical games, but if you did get it, and you think, oh God,
I don't like them anymore.
Hang on, I've got premium with this. Quickly load that up. I mean, that is handy, and if it's a Christmas present, and that's suddenly them games are all there to play.
With a streaming option as well, so little Johnny doesn't even have to wait while it downloads the 20,000 gigabyte to find out that it's crap.
Yeah.
He streams it.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the stream. Let's find out how garbage this is. Yeah, thank God I didn't waste 2 hours waiting for that to download.
Yeah.
Scooting around the dashboard, trying to keep myself occupied, like looking at trailers. Well, actually, I don't look at trailers because that's using bandwidth. That might slow the game down. So you just stare at the dashboard. And they said this is better than getting in the car and driving to the shops. Why? Everything everywhere all at once at your fingertips. Downloading in rural UK. Come back tomorrow. Still got 5% to complete. Or maybe tomorrow morning. You're at work. Oh, to pay for this drivel, I have to get up and do something. Jesus Christ.
Or you have that worst one where you download a game and you look at it and you think, oh, God, that's 90 gigs. So you go off, you leave it download, put it in rest mode so it's a bit quicker. And then when your phone pings and says game's ready to play, you go, oh, I can't bother to play it anymore.
No, I can't be bothered. Well, the game's ready to play and you get 5-minute tutorial. It bumps you back to the main screen. Like, wait for it to install to finish your journey. You're like, why?
Yeah, it is not ready to play.
Like, what game in their right mind didn't bounce through this intro in 5 minutes and then just sit staring, back to that rest mode again.
Yeah. But yeah, back on track. I think with this, I think Sony jumped on the old sales and thought, right, it's time to bring in some more
Bat time, Sony.
Yeah.
Historically, this console would have been 50p by now.
Yeah, but it turned out to be a decent deal, and in an age of everything going up, price hikes, cost of living, suddenly they're dropping £100, and I thought,
Thing is, sorry to cut across you there, but they're almost playing a Nintendo game, because if you keep your main console price high all the way through its life, you're actually minimising people going to buy a second-hand one, because why would you? Because it's only another £100 for a new one.
That's a good point. I never thought of it like that. That's a very good point.
Keep that up, because all of a sudden, I'm going to go get a second-hand one from CEX. Why? I'll get a year's warranty. Yeah, but you get from CEX.
Yeah, I've done that with things before that have stayed high. Yeah, you sort of thought, hang on. So for £90 less, I can get a second-hand one that you don't know if he's been volleying it across his driveway, or
you got no idea. Might have a bag of weed in it for all you know.
Yeah, exactly. Or for another £90 to get in it. Yeah, that's a good point. Never thought of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they've.
Well, think about it. You and I have both made that decision when we've gone in to get when we've gone in to get a game. We've looked second-hand. Oh, it's $39.99. Pull out the Argos app. Oh, it's $39.99 or £42, brand new, sealed, never been smited by a human hand other than the child labour that put it in the case when it left some Asian port. Versus the, I don't know what, DNA violated, dirty switch cart that you're going to get that's been down the back of the sofa, resting in a man's, let's face it, yeast-infected folds.
You talking about me again?
Is it worth £4 to get an unsullied version? I would imagine it would. Yes, I was. Yes, I imagine it would. No, I wasn't. I described you as a 7-foot slab of beef earlier. Does a 7-foot slab of beef with no wasted skin explicitly said that have yeast infections?
Depends how long I just sit still playing the Switch at family events, I suppose. But
okay, if the cat fits, you wear it.
Exactly. I'll roll with it.
So is it worth the extra £2 not to get your yeast-infected sullied Switch cart? I would argue yes.
Yeah.
Is it worth £100 to pop the seal on a brand new PS5 or pick up the one from CEX that you're going to get thrown in the bottom of a bag with a drawstring with its wires wrapped round it like a snake's freaking wedding with a cart thrown in the bag?
I just thought of that as well because I don't think that CEX would have followed trends with the second-hand market, so they were probably a lot of similar price. If not, the brand new one was for a set period. It was probably cheaper than a second-hand one.
Exactly. And
yeah.
Look at the buying experience I just described. How nice does it feel to pop that seal, pull out the cardboard tray and everything's immaculately arranged, or rip open the drawstring CEX bag? And now if you've got on board for the PS5 like this, I'm not doing you too hard. I'm just saying for an extra £100, you could have had the cardboard sealed, never been sullied version, except you're dragging it out this bag from CEX where it's got the sort of paint transfer where it's rubbed up against the blue box. It's got the black sort of throttle marks round it from where you've tied that HDMI cord too tight. Looks like a survivor from the hangman's noose. Then you get it and you're always kind of like, even though it's probably fine, you're always nursing it. You're always thinking, oh, well, I got it from CEX. I don't want to push it too hard. I'll not play Ragnarok. I'll just play the original God of War. What are you doing? Why are you babying this thing? If you're going to treat it like this, just wait another payday and get the brand new one. I don't know what's gone on in the second-hand market of CEX. They're the only pub left in town, you could argue. So I think they're almost thinking, at this point, guys, we can do what the hell we like because where else are they trading in their second-hand shit? Watch these prices plummet. Oh, can I get it on trade? Yeah, we don't normally print receipts for a penny. So what am I getting from this? We're just going to dispose of it for you as a service, basically. Oh, wow. How much to buy it? £400. Welcome to CEX. You want that bag of heroin? Yeah. You better bring 100 of these then, ain't you? Okay. Welcome to CEX.
And we both shop in there as well.
Yeah, mate, look, there's no getting away from the truth of the matter, is it really? And some of the things that I've seen in CEX more recently, I've been thinking to myself, why would you buy that? And secondly, who would come in to buy that here like this? I saw a Dyson Hoover in there as an example. And I think when you start
they wouldn't take some of my PS1 games.
Yeah, and when you start to see...
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, when you start to see a well-used Dyson in the front window display of CEX, you've got to say to yourself, you're about 2 DNA points away from the now very desperate-looking cash converters. Or I've got to move a 50cc moped and chainsaw out the way to see what Vita games you've got.
Yeah, I've
got to move a variety of second-hand stinking fishing poles and a garden eviscerator out the way to have a look to see if you've got any, God forbid, Xbox 360 games.
Which are way overpriced.
Which if that's covered in the cash converter sticker, it might as well be a security tag in itself, because you will be constantly and permanently reminded by the unremovable glue that you went dirty that day.
How did we get on this from the PlayStation news?
Wow. Have I said anything that's not true?
No, it's very true.
Someone had to say it, didn't they? Someone, and J.D. George, and don't forget, guys, you're like, oh, George's a bit sharp these days. You wanted this incarnation.
Yeah, he's changed. And
now you've got it.
And
you hate it?
And he's like this off air as well. That's the truth. Honestly, he was a battle
I'm
this
method,
morning.
I'm method, darling. I have to get into the Jaded George mindset before I record. I don't know why you get so upset about that process.
Because I'm on the receiving end of Jaded George.
Anyway, PS5's doing quite well. It's the sacrifice we make for the fans, RGT. The sacrifice
Yes.
we make for our art, darling.
For our art, darling, our art.
Anyway, that all said, surprising to see an now aged console performing so well in the marketplace. Got to imagine that the restricted supply during the COVID launch window probably did them no harm, RGT. With that all said and done, if you've got an opinion or take on the news that you think we missed, and let's face it, based on this week's news, probably quite a lot. Probably need our asses handed to us in a sling. But if you have got an opinion or take on the news, or if you want to be featured in an upcoming episode with an opinion or thought or take on the news, or you want some dog rearing advice, questions at unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com, slap it there. We will. I had a message in. That's probably the most poignant message I've had in was a picture of Carlos's cat. My reply, great pussy, I believe. What else are you going to do if you man the UCP inbox and you get a shot of his cat? It's an open goal.
Mm-hmm.
Am I a podcaster anymore if I don't kick the ball in that goal? Answer, no, I don't think I am. So I smashed it straight in the back of the net.
Absolute screamer.
Yeah. And the proverbial joke as well went in there.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find us on social media. I think we reside on X, that repository of doom, destruction, and fear. You'll find us on there spreading an equal amount of fear. You'll also find us on Instagram, where we basically there's the odd clip on there as well, where we've got RGT with his shirt open, chest exposed on one side, because I've noticed this is a big trend on Instagram now, and he'll hold up a retro item, probably a Mega Drive pad, something like that, and then as he talks he'll just sort of glance the controller to one side to get a glimpse of his hairy areoli. I see those videos doing gangbusters numbers when women do them on the internet, RGT, so I'd imagine that we're onto a cash-rich vein of engagement if we get you doing a few more of those on the Insta. So pop on there to like and share those rather edgy OnlyFans like triggering areas that we've got RGT doing for us. Absolutely wonderful. Click on the link tree straight to the Discord. Yes, we've got a Discord as well, amongst other links. So if you're interested, you better go look. You won't know till you look. And by then, we've got your engagement in your clicks, and we don't really care whether RGT has got his nipple out or not. I do, but you don't. And within the Discord, there's a collection of other like-minded people like you. So you sat there to yourself in your car blasting down the AB11, some road made up in the middle of England somewhere. And you're thinking to yourself, do you know I like these guys, George and RGT? I probably like Bobby, Scott, and Seb more, but, you know, these guys will do for now. I want to know more about them. I want to get engaged with them. I want to do more. I want to see more. I want to smell more. That all happens on the Discord, right, RGT? Apart from me,
Certainly does. Yeah.
yeah.
There's plenty going on there, from challenge accepted to Gen 7 playthroughs to everything from where you've been on your holidays, and people put their holiday snaps on, what they're having for tea, what pub they're drinking in, what games they've been playing. There's a bit of everything on there. And also there's a little bit in there for a little swap shop where people have got old games or controllers, they're swapping between each other. And yeah, it's a proper little gaming hub family in there. So jump on, join in. It's great fun.
I think what I'm trying to say is, if you were that sort of lonely gamer, you're driving down the road, you got your podcast on, you think it's only you. You think it's only you that's into that subsection of Downton Abbey and PlayStation and all these other games at the same time. Little did you know, there's thousands of others like you. So you're not that cool kid anymore. You now realise you're in a small army, but there's nothing wrong with strength. So get on board, get down with the kids, win yourself some free prizes. The dangerous thing, RGT, is if they like the show enough, they can also, and the show is always free. We also generate a whole new channel called Flashback, which is retro-based, focused on different years and eras in gaming, right down to almost a 24-hour window look into a specific moment in time. Absolutely, that show's performing well. Got to say, I've been blown away by the amount of interest that's generated. I've been blown away by the fun that we've had recording it. And I've been blown away by the feedback that we've had back from it. So long will that continue. So much free content. But if you want to pay to support the show, you get some benefits out of it. So you can start supporting from as little as $3 a month. Yes, a month. Yes, I said a month. But that's barely anything, George. You're absolutely right. And you know the first thing that's going to happen? We're going to send you a T-shirt the very first time we pay that £3. I don't think there's a better deal in gaming. And if you add those £3 up, really, it's not that much across the year. And you get free item of clothing, and you get a load of other stuff, and you get your name read out at the end of every single goddamn show. And to allow that to happen, RGT, you have sent me a list of all the wonderful, beautiful people that support us at £3, $3 actually. So if you were thinking you were listening in the UK or anywhere else and you thought, oh, 3 icky dickies, £3, that seems a bit much. Don't worry. We trade at the American dollar, which, no offense, America has about as much strength in the global market, although it's accepted everywhere. It's got about as much strength as a penny chew. You probably need to Google what that is.
Yeah, so...
Worldwide audience, so RGT.
Oh, very worldwide, yes, very worldwide. Some of the cities, when I see that we've had downloads in, I'm just thinking, geez, is someone in this city listening to me waffle on in my Suffolk tones about a 25-year-old game that's crap, and they're loving it, yeah.
Over 100 countries, over the world, and over 4,000 cities. Yeah. There's a very strong chance you'll be walking down the street and hear some other absolute gaming weirdo virgin listening to the same dog shizzle you are. There's never a bigger moment than that, than realising that you found a brother on the street because you heard RGT talking about his wife licking gravy with the flat of her tongue off his chest.
Anywho, these are our subscribers who dip their hands in their pockets every week, who we cannot thank enough. Yeah, and like I say, like George said, the show's always free, but it is always nice to have this little bit extra, which we try and give back to as well. And we'll start off this week.
Before we start, genuinely, because I muck about, it's not going to take too long, so don't panic. You're still going to be able to get to the shops. It's going to be close. I'm going to make you sweat.
It's close, yeah.
I'm going to make you sweat.
Yeah,
right?
April is payment.
But I just want to let everybody know how much I genuinely, and I hope you can hear this in my voice, I muck about. It's part of the humour of the show, but I genuinely appreciate every single one of you. Probably the ones that pay more, but I still appreciate every single last one, because the show would not be here without you freeloaders. So I've got to say to you, kudos to you, boys and girls.
Yeah, and it is even for non-subs people from, we put a lot of work into the show. There's a lot go on behind the scenes. Shows, with scripts and bits and pieces. But when you just get that one little bit of feedback, when someone messages you, oh, wow, show was brilliant this week. Oh, I really enjoyed that bit, or I really liked that.
If I saw a one-star review coming for Flashback right now, I'd watch the air.
It's just nice that there is people out there listening and enjoying what we do, and makes it all worthwhile. And then just having these subs on top of that who are willing to,
I never thought I'd wake up in the world where this would even be a possibility. So honestly, mate, it's mind-blowing. I'm a little bit confused about who, what, when, where, how. So I think
it's my turn to start this week.
Oh, that means I'm going to get the Zangief.
Well, maybe, but you do sometimes do a little bit of a switcheroozy as you go down, because you try and mess me all up, so then you end up with Billy Marmite near the bottom, and then suddenly, oh dear, RGT, time to Zangief for Georgie.
I'm an asymmetrical mercurial-like threat that you'll never see coming. You think you played me into a corner, all of a sudden you're in the corner.
Yeah.
You blink once and you're in the corner. Like, how did this happen?
And instead of switcheroo,
instead of delivering the killer blow, I'm probably planting a small shrubbery.
You are, but also, he said something last week that still makes me giggle now.
What's that?
Them damn Winchester boys. Anyway, we'll start off with Captain Scarlet, our newest sub. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Captain. Thank you for all what you do as well.
I had a great fortune of engaging with Mr. Scarlett on the I don't know what device or program, or I don't know if you call them programs. I don't know what it was.
No new facts.
But my phone lit up and I was like, okay, I don't know what this is, but I'll click on it and I had a real nice interaction with him. So thank you so much for what you're doing. You're making us look good, which is a freaking miracle.
Which is a task in itself. That's a mammoth task.
Thank you for that. And your enthusiasm, I would argue, is almost infectious. So as you were, sir. I guess if you had Captain Scarlet, he barely remembers it, so I'm going to make sure this is memorable. So I bought some flowers for Retro Ed. Thank you to you, sir, for all you've done. One thing I've got to say, actually, to everyone who's listening, I don't know if the people that are listening are doing this, or I'm speaking to the people directly on YouTube right now, but I've been loving your efforts on the channel lately.
I didn't even notice till you said. Just said, whoa.
You're almost making an audio show look half good on there, which is that crime? If so, commit more of them.
Yes. Yeah. If you tend to just download the show, go and give it a view on YouTube as well. I know you're double dipping a bit, but yeah, that would push the YouTube on a bit.
RGT, I don't think you've ever come back from one of your sort of events that you've done, hedonism or whatever, and said that double dipping is bad. Is a bad thing.
No. I was just trying to downplay the good old double dip a bit. But
you got to wonder that the evolution of a man who used to go to Dreamscape ends up at hedonism. It's not quite the same, but, well, maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe it is. We all love a good double dip. Next up, we have the One Man George fan club. It is Carlos, who I did see this week, was in one of those rage room things. He looked like he was in Manhunt. Have you seen that picture on Discord yet? No, because you haven't. Well, you don't even know how to open it. So he's in one of them rage rooms.
Because it's an issue. It's a proper issue.
If you do ever, just get Rachel to help you, but she'll find a page for it. There's a picture of him sort of green lit in this room. He's in this rage room with a helmet on. I think he's got a baseball bat or a sledgehammer, and you're thinking, you do look like a character out of Manhunt. You look very scary, Carlos, but very cool as well.
I got the same image sent to me personally entitled Lounge Makeover.
Wow, that's one way of doing it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of lounge left because, he'd gone full bore. But yes, thank you, Carlos, as always.
Here's a man that historically would have made sure you avoided every single recession and depression out there financially, and would have made sure that you were so financially astute and safe that you were eating caviar while through the other side of your glass window is a man eating raw dog. That's the strength and power of the financial and market evidence and help you're going to get from firm returns. Take you from a pauper to a prince overnight.
No, you've already made his slogan. Remember? From tramp to Trump. Firm returns from tramp to Trump in a week.
So this week I went from prince to pauper, not good enough, not highbrow enough. Okay, from Trump to Trump. From hairless hobo to hirsute hero.
Where do these come from? This isn't in the script. He's just doing this off his head. I don't know where he gets them from.
Who's next?
Next up, we have the wonderful Trestles of New York. Best place to get your buffalo wings or your burgers in New York. Absolutely fantastic place. And even George recorded a show there if you go back and look back years ago.
Me and Bobby did an ASMR special there where we noisily tucked into wings while we heard coffees and the usual New York ephemera going on in the background. Wonderful episode. Everyone should
brilliant.
Enjoy that one.
Thank you,
and I think we talked about that episode was done there because we talked about gaming in food. So if you ever wondered what a pixelated cake looks like, that would be the place to go. Up next, a man who is probably one of the longest supporters of the show. And not only that, he's probably one of the most handsome. Not only that, he's probably got the award for most beautiful family as well. That probably not helping him. He's probably on the way to an early shift this morning listening to that. His son's probably ran him ragged this morning. It's like, oh God, why? But let me tell you now, Roast Face Monk, most people would wake up dreaming to be you. They would.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right? So no matter how hard it is today, no matter what you're thinking, dude, we bloody love you.
Yeah. absolutely brilliant. And I know he had a bit of a disappointing video game market he went to recently, but he did manage to pick up this lovely little 3D printed Dreamcast sign, which was nice. But yeah, he didn't really get anything else. A bit disappointing. But don't ask, because you're getting towards the end of that collection. I reckon that's getting quite hard to find them games now. But keep plugging, because we're all rooting for you to get that full collection. That's awesome.
I'm just rooting for him.
Yeah.
Generally.
Next up, it's the Italian Stallion, who has been again sending me pictures of these shops he's going in. I mean, he sent me one. I think it was in Clare in Suffolk. He'd been to out near Lavenham Way. He'd been to a game shop there, and they had all these PS1 bangers on there. And then I saw they had a Lundra there, and I went, "Oh, a Lundra, that's one I'd like to get." And he's like, "Yep, got that." But they had some wonderful stuff. I mean, he said, "This your brother-in-law? It's your brother-in-law who's into Final Fantasy." So I said, yeah, he's right into Final Fantasy. And he said they got a press release kit behind the counter there. They'd put away for him, but I think it was £400, so it's quite expensive. But they had some wonderful stuff there. But yeah, Bada Binkster's collection is looking absolutely fantastic at the moment. Yeah. You need to do a YouTube channel, Bada Binkster, so we can follow your adventures. Because
I would watch that Italian Stallion cross-stitch a Peugeot 205 over the period of 6 weeks, one stitch at a time, and still come away so Europeanly satisfied, I'd feel like I'd French kissed Brigitte Bardot.
Wow, that's incredible. And thank you, Bada Binkster. Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, think about doing a YouTube channel, because we'd...
Grazie mille, Bada Binkster, grazie mille. Up next, a man who really needs no introduction. But I'll tell you one thing. There's never been a finer purveyor of video games. There's never been a finer, more salubrious collector. There's never been a man that's sat down amongst his collection on a leather daybed. Wrapped
chaise lounge.
Yeah, it's chaise lounge, darling, daybed. He sits there, he's got his smoking jacket on, he's got his sort of...
cravat.
He's got his soft... fez on as well. He's got his cravat. He's got some bed socks. He's got some very nice, some would argue granddad slippers, but that tartan, when they slip off of his delicately manicured foot to the floor, you realise they're made by one of the most exclusive purveyors of bed goods you could possibly have. He leans back, and his only concession to the mainstream is the tin he picks up off the side. It's cafe creme, but he just can't get away from the sort of smoky indulgence. He knows there's better cheroots. He knows there's finer, more refined cigars, but nothing fits his sort of demure little space better than a little lit, smouldering cafe creme. He doesn't inhale it too much. He just uses like an incense stick. He lights one of those. Let's face it, RGT. Probably have a little puff.
Without a doubt.
Then he leans back and he flicks a little fly chaser around on his spares like a ponytail on an eager lady. He flicks that to the back of his head, picks up his limited edition DS, slides in the back of it some very highbrow JRPG that me or you wouldn't even understand the premise of the story. It's that highbrow. It's lost on us.
It's £300, darling. You've probably never heard of it.
Exactly. We're staring at it like a caveman would stare at a deactivated iPhone. Smashes it on a rock and throws it, and then wears the assembled circuit board as if it's some sort of ode to his god.
And there's also a couple of words that you're not allowed to say if you go around to his house. Shovelware. You're not allowed to mention shovelware.
Oh, my God. That was the end of his third marriage. Who's next?
Oh, no, yeah, thank you, Tingle Tudor. I don't even know if you said his name, did you?
I don't know. He knew. He knew that signpost, didn't he? He's a little bit better than that. Who's next?
Next up, we got one of them goddamn Winchester boys.
Whoa, that cowboy.
We got one of the sheriffs in the Discord with his spurs and his chaps.
Wow.
Yeah. Digital Monkery. Yep. He's
Hold down. Whoa, Digimonkeries just rode into town. Don't. Just don't.
Yeah, one of the sheriffs of the Discord, and also purveyor of many things like challenge accepted and the little prizes he makes and all the efforts he puts in. But fantastic as always.
And also,
thank you, Digital
I
Media.
don't think he's got what you would call the biggest Mega Drive collection. But I tell you what, there's absolutely no doubt that it's got some width and girth to it.
Oh God, yeah.
In fact, because of his sort of strawberry blonde hair and his sort of almost Antipodean looks, he reminds me a little bit of a more macho version of the Girthmeister.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think he was going for every movie license game on the Mega Drive, which I think he's only got one or two left, I think.
Well,
and he's...
I will leave you to wrestle that unenviable snake while I pick up a man who is currently, correct me if I'm wrong, RGT, probably back now, but has been on a world tour. He's been to Brazil to try and further the cause of the UCP there. Got to admit, he's been in some highbrow meetings on the beach, throwing UCP flyers around. Yeah, this is a Georgie catchphrase like confetti at a wedding. A few of those have stuck. And in some of the backwaters of Brazil, we're now the most popular podcast out there. So super grateful to Bull Boulder for that. He's picked up a tan. He's probably double dipped a couple of times while he's there. So brought back some goodies. Yeah, why not? Definitely double dip. Has he picked up any like the Brazil Mega Drive things or anything like that?
Don't think so. He's where he was staying. He's sort of brother-in-law is really into emulation. So he's got all different emulation systems and bits and pieces and games and setups and arcades and that sort of thing. And
I'm glad it was emulation, you said, because I wondered where this was going.
I would imagine you would. But nope, we'll bring it back down to a clean conversation again. But yeah, so he had some good setups there with some good games to play.
Hang on, RGT.
Yes.
Do you hear the thundering of hooves?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Don't know. Who's it?
Who comes after Bull Border on the list? Who might be riding in on a horse? Maybe a cowboy on a sheriff-like related scenario.
Okay, sorry. That took me a while to get there.
Okay.
I do believe it's another one of them goddamn Winchester boys.
Boba is that edgy and dangerous, though. If he was to go any colour, what colour would he go?
Yeah, I've got to be careful here because we can't do brown. Pink's out of the question.
Who said, hang on a minute, in any straightforward scenario, I can see why the heck. So give me the colours that are out of bounds for some reason. I don't know where this correspondence took place, but so you say brown.
Allowed green.
Brown's down. Pink's down.
Pink's down. Green I wasn't allowed to do. Always green I just thought would be the colour of the night visor, but we can't do that. And then you also said I'm not allowed to have like a purpley colour for some reason. So I don't really know where I go from here, but hang on, I've got it. Here we go. Going mauve. How about that?
Mate, you can't have a word like that. You can't have a colour that sounds like that.
I don't know.
There were no sexual connotations to any of this before. Now it's literally peppered in them with mauve. Let's rest that.
Yeah, let's move on. Thank you, Boba, as always.
The hell?
Who we got next?
Going pink snow. Oh, wow. I'll tell you someone who never takes anything off the table. Any colour, knock yourself out, Panyo. I ain't bothered. It's a free dig out down there and you just do as much damage as you like. And I don't care if technically you're my responsible adult. It's Ginge, my red-headed stepson.
Thanks, Ginge. Next up, we have the Lord of Darkness himself, who I saw was rather dressed up this week going to watch. I think it was the Wicked movie, I think. Looked very good on
Who
Instagram.
did he dress up as? Ariana Grande or the other one?
I have no idea. I'm not very up to speed with it, but he had a few props and bits and pieces on and looked very cool as always. Do you notice as well with Harvey Retro? He looks like a movie actor, a Hollywood movie actor. The glasses, the hairstyle, the way he dresses. He
I'll be
looks
honest with you, mate.
class, absolute
If there was
class.
a way in which that's a way that these two men can make love, but if there was a way these two men could generate a spawn, I'm thinking Gary Oldman and David Bowie somehow got together and mixed their DNA up and spat out. Well, they didn't spat out. They kind of gifted the world the incredible Harvey Retro.
Without a doubt.
He's got all the sort of hallmarks of the Duke, but then he's got everything going on.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Absolute legend. And thank you very much, Harvey Retro. Who we got next in? George.
He's talented, he's funny, he's handsome. He's got a great
Everything
job,
I'm
he's
not.
surrounded by a beautiful wife and wonderful friends. I'm not jealous. I'm just a bit wondering when we get a bit. Actually, what the hell am I saying? I'm no looking, it's going down.
Yes, you are.
So I can't even, for the sake of the show anymore, make these jokes. I guess next I get to thank the wonderful Emma Sharp for.
Yes.
We talk of things that people do for the show. Not only these wonderful people support, but they're intimately entwined into the very fabric of the show, which we're very grateful for. And Emma Sharp's been doing a world tour as part of the UCP Productions. She's been in America. She's been everywhere as Emma, leaving the flyers in inappropriate places like Route 66 changing rooms, rest stops, that sort of place, just in a bid to try and hoover up some of that lost trucker market in America. Thank you for that, Emma.
Thank you, Emma. Yep, as always. Next up, we have the wonderful Greg from Forever Skies fame, the game that you might have heard of. And Greg is busily working away in the background there, but we know him on this show as nowhere near Berlin. Thank you again, another long-time supporter.
A veritable gaming celebrity, lodged behind one of the biggest games in its genre for the last 5 years, I would say. And we're lucky enough to have him here supporting the show. So
He's been on the show as well a couple of times. So
he has.
Yeah,
once as a
legendary.
vampire, twice as a gaming professional. No, once as a vampire, second time as a gaming professional.
Yep.
Fully paid up member of the actual inside team.
Yep.
We're just outside commenting on what he does, whereas he's doing something.
Yep.
Okay. Up next, who's next? Is it me? Is it you? We're confused. What's real?
It's you. I know what you're trying to do, but it is you.
You're on a bookcase looking through, going, "No, don't do it." Up next is the wonderful Mumsy.
Thank you, Mumsy. Then I get the awesome RGT fan club. Thank you very much, as always. Really, really appreciate it. Don't shake your head. Don't shake your head. You know, they work very hard to get that sub. Pensions don't go a long way nowadays.
Up next, a man who could literally flutter his eyelids and decimate the RGT fan club's brittle bones to talcum powder. It's Pete Brocklehurst.
Next up after that, we have the very silent but violent. The man in the background doesn't say a lot, but he subs week in, week out. It's the wonderful Billy Marmite.
Okay, so for the direction I'm going to give you, okay, so this is like
whatever.
your
Yeah, nice
first
try,
sign
nice
that you-
try, nice try. I will stop you there, fella.
You're sacked.
You better be ready for this. I hope you've had your espressos this morning.
Yeah.
Right. I want you to be playing your little Gold Rush simulator. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
You found a nice ore of gold. Suddenly it's a bit bigger than you thought, which makes little George stand to a bit of attention because you're getting quite excited. And then suddenly a little glitch kicks in, starts vibrating, and then you start getting that little bit of panic where you're thinking, oh no, is the game going to crash? I've got the biggest gold ore here ever. I don't want the game to crash. Suddenly, bang! The game blasts everything everywhere, but when it comes back down, it's pure 4K goodness. It's almost like this glitch has blasted a game into the game that you've always wanted. So you've got that excitement from finding that gold ore. You've got the anticipation of, oh no, am I going to lose this? Is the game going to crash? And then you get the excitement of having the game that you've always wanted at the end. That's right on the geef. That 4K bit is on the geef. All right?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
Go.
That's a song. Ooh.
Wow. Almost went a bit turkey in the middle there.
Well, that was me. I kind of got caught up in the glitch. So as
Bit
the
of gobble,
world
gobble.
vibrated,
You know, what turkeys do, don't they? Gobble, gobble.
it did go a bit like that, admittedly. Yeah, I wasn't thinking directly sloppy toppy, I have to admit. But, you know, whatever. You got your geef. You happy
Yeah.
with it?
Yeah, very much. I'm going to save this one, put it in the
I
bag.
actually methoded that pure, and when I was doing I was the bucket, and then at the end, and it crashed. I'll be honest with you, the geef was a bit weak and faded because I was almost a little bit blown away by what I was seeing. It
I
diminished.
think you zanned a bit early, and then
Well,
the
it
geese
diminished
faded
the
off.
geef down to nothing more than an air biscuit.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to play?
Obviously, Hades 2.
No, word of note,
Yeah.
I might want to look into redoing the listener readouts. I'm finding that they might be a bit bad taste.
Okay.
And if I'm finding that, then the listeners must be appalled.
Without a doubt.
My threshold is quite high.
Yeah.
So, imagine
If you're finding it bad, then you know there's something gone serious.
So we might revisit that next week and just do a few months of just dry readouts. I don't know. If you tell me there's been even one glimmer of a don't you dare on the Discord, then we'll go back to the full geef. But I wonder if we need to just tone it down so the new listeners are coming back.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, good point.
What are you hoping to play?
Yeah, some more Hades 2. Bit of ease of life now with the Retron fired up, so I'll be dipping into some games that I have bought over about the last 18 months and haven't even played, so I'll be dipping into those.
Give me an example.
I think I got this
Actually,
game.
don't.
No, I'm not going to because they might come up. So, no, I'm not going to. But yeah, I've got a few cartridge games I need to play. I also need to play, and I feel really bad about this. I pre-ordered this collection, but I think I don't even know if I've mentioned it on the show. But anyway, that came for, I pre-ordered it about a year ago, thanks to Firm Returns for letting me know about it, and got the collector's edition of these Simon the Sorcerer Origins for the Switch, and I haven't even booted it up. I forgot I'd put it on the shelf and forgot I even had it. So I really need to play that. Yeah,
you do.
And especially as Chris Barry come back to do the voice, it's got to be played on it really with the legendary Chris Barry.
It absolutely does.
I must play that, and I'm looking at it now thinking it's not even in the right place on my shelf, which makes me twitch a little bit. But yeah, so Simon the Sorcerer Origins, Hades 2, bit of Resistance 2, must get back on that, and some cartridge goodness, I would imagine. What about you, George?
I am going to be slip and sliding around the mud-filled, shaky mess of Gold Rush Simulator or Gold Mining Simulator. Probably be disappointed. Flick back to. I have been skirting around with the PSP again in bed, so maybe a bit of Liberty City Stories. I'm finding that to be a much better game than Vice City Stories, I have to admit. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it, but.
It's a very good game. It's a very good game.
Yeah, Vice City Stories is still great, and it's got all the things in that you might want if you're a fan of PS2 and Vice City and all that. But I don't know. There's something about Liberty City Stories, story per se, that's got me more into it than Vice City Stories.
I think, I remember now, I've got
them on PS2.
Yeah, I've got the Liberty City Stories, but for some reason I have it sealed. And yeah, and I was thinking the other day, I'll just have a look at that. That goes for quite a lot of money sealed.
Why don't you just give that to me so I can open it?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Good.
Quick question for you though, before we go into anything else. Sorry to cut in. That just reminded me talking about sealed stuff. I've got quite a few older sealed games which seem to be going for decent money. Now, I'm not really a sealed collector, right?
Yeah.
So do I sell those sealed games because you get the high value and then replace them with the... So, like, for instance, I think I've got Lords of Shadow on PS3 sealed. You could sell that for about 80 quid.
So you're going to sell a sealed version and then buy an unsealed version.
Yeah, so you make
I
difference.
think I could solve this in one stroke, actually.
Well, open it.
And play it.
Well, yeah, but then, I could play it by making some value off it. Do you think?
Why?
Is that worth doing it? Huh?
When's the next time you're going to be able to unseal a 20-year-old game?
Yeah, true.
When's the next time you're going to be able to take something that's sat on a shelf that long, maturing like a fine wine, and you feel so indulgent that you get out a nice little sharp blade, you slip around the outside of that cellophane, you watch it peel back, the release of 30 years of being pulled tight around that case, you watch it sort of relax and separate, almost like the opening of a clam. And then the box falls open a little bit and you can see like that untouched pearl. You can see it. People talk about trying to find it and they struggle for years to find that, and you've just gone straight on that nubbin. Boom. And it's opened up like boom. It's separated wide open and it's showing you itself, like manual there.
You know what you were saying about toning down the subs? Is that still a thing, or?
To be honest,
do you remember saying that, or?
I went into this full innocence. I think that's why I referred to it as the pearl. Quite a lot of the time you dive down, you open the clam, nothing. And this is one of those times you've gone down and you didn't know this, but you've got a sealed clam, never been touched, never been sullied on your shelf. And you're on about selling that unsullied version and buying one that's been through every single gamer's hands you could possibly imagine. The sweaty guy, the guy who likes Cheetos, the guy who bought it to sit on the shelf and then sold it. He treated it like an asset. He didn't even care. You got the guy who just basically beat down on the game, treated it like garbage, absolutely abused it. The front cover's cut. Every now and then you get a game, it's got slip marks on the front. Like, why? You've got one there on the shelf.
I'm glad I asked. Anyway, what you hope to play, George?
I'd unseal it. Buy it, sell it, buy it again, play it now.
Well, no, I just thought I'd make a few quid to buy some games I'd like. No.
Who takes sealed games though?
No, I'd just sell it online. CEX opens them.
The anticipation.
CEX, you put a sealed game in, they just open it.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that is brutal.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, I know. I actually traded a few sealed ones in. They weren't worth nothing, but they were older ones and SingStar or something like that. And they just
Jungle Gym for the PC CD-ROM you got from a charity shop in Ilkeston about 10 years ago.
Was I with you that day? So I got Jungle Gym 2 a couple of years later as well.
I don't doubt it. Doubt it.
Anyway, what are you going to be playing?
I've said a bit of Gold Rush, I think, maybe a little bit of a dance around with GTA 4, a little bit more Vice City, Liberty
Any more
City
Infamous,
stories.
Second Son, any more of that?
It's been too soon. I was playing it and I was like, it's been too soon, mate, since you last played this. It was too familiar.
That's sometimes a thing, isn't it?
Played it, it was just everything I was doing. It was like, before it even popped up in my brain, it was like, this happened, boom, now you got to go, boom. So they're going to do the scene now, boom.
You sometimes need that bit of surprise. If you're replaying a game, it needs to be bits where you go, oh, I don't remember this bit.
Yeah.
Keeps it a bit fresher.
I can't remember when I played it the last couple of times, like how I chose to start it, because it really doesn't make much difference, but you get a choice at the beginning to become infamous or famous. And I was like, oh, I can't do it. So I picked the good boy option. And I was like, I bet you pick the good boy option every single time you've played this. Pick the bad boy option. But such is life. So maybe a myriad of that. If we get all the jobs done, I think, we're really looking forward to starting Death Stranding 2, to be honest with you. Everything's just been a bit of a placeholder till that.
I think so. That's going to be a bit of you, that game. I mean, I know how much you loved the first one. And
we've been playing through the first one just quietly in the background as well.
Oh, okay.
Probably about halfway through, but we just had to stop with how busy we've been. And that's why I've just been picking up what I thought were throwaway experiences, but I've ended up doing a lot of Fallout and GTA, etc. Much to my annoyance. I could have been playing the main game. But anyway, the treat is that we're going to get it all done. With that all said and done, RGT, anything more to share?
No, just thanks everyone as always. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Don't forget Flashback, same thing. Download it, share with your friends, share on Instagram, bits and pieces. Let's keep the wagon rolling on the Flashback thing at the moment. And just, thanks to our subs as always. And thanks
Make
to you, George, as
RGT
always.
internet famous so we can retire and live the dream that you want to.
I don't think that'll ever happen. God, no. But no, just thanks everyone as always. So.
All right. Well, that's all we have time for this week. Listeners, always thank you for your time. I look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, happy gaming. And remember, there's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial control. It's what you do with it that counts. See you, RGT.
Laters.